ito. So, Attorney Errol, go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Ma'am Secretary. Mr. Chair, good afternoon. Based po dun sa based po sa regional office po natin sa Region 5, meron pong mga suggested projects po na has to go under validation pa po ng DTI and DPWH po. Meron lang po kasing mga certain requirements po yung ROLIT, and we can extend naman po yung requirements po, mabigay po namin yung requirements po sa office niyo po para po guided din po yung.
Kasi sa paliwanag po ni Madam Secretary, so parang ang mabibenepisyo lang doon parang yung malaking company.
Ay, hindi naman po. Actually, hindi naman po. That's just one of the example po ng why we assigned also one person para lahat ng roads po I mentioned also to move one product to another. Let's say food products kailangan i-move. Let's say pag may bagyo, masalanta yung mga, there's a lot of calamities. Pag hindi ho maayos yung road, hindi ho natin ma-move, which I mentioned a while ago, which we cannot move now, basic necessities and prime commodities, or even food products from one area to another if the roads are not paved. And then another problem is also the investors who have invested in a certain province, tapos yung road po hindi rin gawa. So parang the investment is done in bad faith, di ba? Hindi natin ma-pave yung road. So we have assigned one person that's really in charge na overall it para niya yung mga to make sure that the roads are done.
Ito po yung kasi minsan kasi di nyo masyado to na papaliwanag siguro doon sa lalong-lalo na po yung mga malilit natin na naghahanap buhay, nagsisimula. Kasi minsan, alam mo naman, Kapanduan is Abaca capital. So, iyan ba, pupwede rin ba yan doon sa mga Abacano natin? Bukod doon sa ibang produkto?
Mr. Chair, may the regional director answer that because he's the one more adept in the field po. Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, Mr. Chair.
Pwede rin yung sa ibang produkto.
Yes, Mr. Chair. We can forward you, Mr. Chair, the roller's guide so that you would be well informed, Mr. Chair.
Kasi marami tayong produkto din. Alam naman natin, mayroon tayong maisan, mayroon tayong manihan. So, bakit po hindi sila nakakabil nito? Yung mga lugar na yon. Kaya doon kami medyo nagtataka. So kung bakit, sabi ko hanggang ngayon, simula nung in-implement yung programa na yan, wala pa po kaming hindi pa po kami nabibenepisyuhan na yan ng programa na yan. Samantalang kailangan namin yan doon.
Yes,
Mr. Chair.
For 1 year lang po ako as DTI Secretary. So, we're implementing kung ano yung may implement namin during my term. So, we've assigned Attorney Errol to make sure that lahat ng mga roads na nire-request ninyo can be done because we need to move the products. We need to move products from one point to another, especially the products that are food or products that need to be sold to the different regions.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. So, nandiyan naman si Director. So, sana naman magkaroon na tayo doon sa isla, Kasi ilang years yun ba itong programa? Ilang years na ito?
8 years, Mr. Chair.
8 years. Ni isa, wala man lang kaming hindi man lang kami na nalagyan yan ng roll-it na yan. So, samantalang marami naman tayong produkto doon na dapat natin na ibaba na galing doon sa taas. Kasi napaka-importante po yan doon sa amin. Ano po, lalo na, baka capital kami. So, alam naman natin, marami tayong farm-to-market road na talagang kinoconstruct para lang po dito sa mga produkto natin. Ito, sabi ko, isa to sa mga katulong. Kasi halos parehas lang po ang programa nyo. Doon sa DA, yung FMR, parang ganon din eh. Ganon din, produkto rin naman ng dadaanan ito eh. Para may baba natin eh, ng mabilis, na walang masayang. So, ayo pa, madalisa naman ito, ano po? Baka pwede naman bigyan nyo naman kami ako ng data po kung sino na po yung nakabil nito na region.
Yes, Congressman.
Baka pwede.
We can you can get the number of Attorney Ariel, and then you can follow up with him yung the different roll-it projects, kasi siya talagang naka-assign just one person to make sure that the roads are done, because nga we need to move the products also for sales and also pag may calamities and also for the investors.
Okay, yun lang po. On the record lang po, Mr. Chair, na makahingi lang ako ng development plan ng itong programa natin ng Roll It.
Yes.
Thank you and good morning.
Thank you, Representative Rodriguez. Next in line from the minority, Representative Robert Nazal.
Good afternoon to the DTI family. Good afternoon, Secretary. Thank you, Mr. Chair. On your earmarked revenues, on the Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprise Development Fund, yung created under RA 9501, could you provide a detailed explanation of the provision that allocates 90% of penalties collected from lending institutions for non-compliance with the amended Magna Carta for Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises? Specifically, what types of violations by lending institutions are being cited as the basis for these penalties?
Undersecretary Bless Lantayon of the Regional Operations Group will explain this.
Sige po.
If I'm not mistaken, that is the provision under the Magna Carta that penalizes financing institutions that do not lend to the to the MSMEs.
Yes.
And I think that provision has already expired in 2018, Congressman.
But ma'am, may I ask, kasi you have a balance from December 31 of 2023 of 127 million. And then, based on your report, you have collections of 21 million in 2023, 2024, and 2025. Meron po kayo na kolekta.
Okay.
So, kung nag-lapse na po siya, saan po nanggagaling yung pera?
Yeah, we'll pass to ASEC Ablan regarding these funds.
Yes, Mr. Chair. To answer the Honorable Nazal, the funds have reverted back to the Bureau of Treasury po. It goes straight to the Bureau of Treasury. So we don't have it at the DTI, Mr. Chair.
So wala na po ito.
Yes.
But bakit po meron expenditures in 2023 may expenditure na 17 million, and then 2024 there was an expenditure of 21, and then 2025 may 21 million din expenditure.
Mr. Chair, that goes to the MSME Council funds. So it's that one is for the MSME Council funds, Mr. Chair, which the group of USEC Bless implements.
So hindi siya nag-revert.
Yung, Mr. Chair, these are the remnants before the law expired. So we are finishing that funds. Any payment after that goes to the Bureau of Treasury.
But you have Can you explain that? I just want to understand.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Kasi meron kayong collection pa eh. So if you're saying it's 2018 na nag-lapse po siya.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Chair. That's the remnants of those collected in years prior po. Correct?
Can you explain? Can you expound on that?
Yes, Yusek. May I yield to Yusek Bless, Mr. Chair.
Every year, Congressman, there is an allocation to the SMED Council of an amount of 21 million, and that is used for the National SMED Council projects. And every year, that is 21 million until it is exhausted. So like this,
So up to when is that?
until the fund is exhausted.
Saan po so there are still collections from the financial institutions.
No more. That's the total amount of collections in the previous year, and that is being used by the SMED Council. But after the law has that one has expired, there is no more collection. So there is a certain fund that has been collected, and part of that every year will go to the SMED Council.
So yun ang nire-reflect yung revenues?
It's not a revenue.
Nakalagay po sa report niyo yun eh.
I don't know how the entry is being done.
So effectively, parang based on your report, we are still collecting an amount every year. So 2023, 24, 25. May I know how the funds are being spent?
Okay. As far as the SMED Council is concerned, the different regions or the different committees in the SMED Council, they submit a project proposal, and then that will be evaluated by the Secretariat, which is the Bureau of Small and Medium Enterprise Development, and for final approval of the projects by the SMED Council.
So this is something, what is this? Can you describe? The SMED Council, Small and Medium Enterprise Development.
Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprise Development Council, which is chaired by the Secretary of Trade and Industry, and the Vice Chairman is coming from the private sector. The island groups, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, they also have their representation and appointed by the President. And there is also representation from the youth, from women's sector also. So that constitutes the SMED Council plus the other agencies.
So can you just explain to me also? Can you just go back to yung my question earlier? Saan po nanggagaling sa ngayon yung reflected revenues? So meron pa tayong nakukolekta?
Hindi na po kasi when that one expired,
yes,
there are no more penalties collected from the banks which did not lend to the micro, small, and medium enterprises. So there's no more, and I'm not really sure on our accounting why that is reflected as a. They might have a reason for that. But on the part of the SMED Council, we are on the utilization of the fund, and that is to the tune of 21 million a year.
Yes. So yun ang ginagawa nyo?
Yun ang ginagawa namin, sir, sa doon sa fund na yun.
Siguro pakicorrect na lang po yung entries doon sa accounting. And then, kasi as of 2023 na December 31, you still have 127 million. So, I think kung ano ba yung utilization rate natin dun sa SMED?
Sa SMED Council,
SMED Council.
21 as far as proposals are concerned. Sometimes our proposals are even beyond 21.
Yes.
We are limited to the funding allocation of 21 per year. Yes, po.
How come? Are we limited to using these funds for the SMEC, or can we also use them for, let's say, uh,